Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, it has been a somewhat active afternoon for some across the area as we've had showers and thunderstorms. And while these storms have remained below severe limits, some of them have produced quite a bit of rainfall, and we continue to see these showers and thunderstorms fire up along a boundary that has stalled now down to our south. Temperatures today were not quite as warm as what they've been the last couple of days, but it's been more humid thanks to our dew point temperatures climbing through the 70s. We've cooled off a bit with some of that rain-cooled air from Rochelle to DeKalb, although it still feels muggy, so I don't know if I'd necessarily say it's cool out there. 83 in Rockford, 85 in Freeport, and 82 our temperature now up in Janesville. As we go through this evening, temperatures will stay in the 80s. We'll lose that thunderstorm threat here as the sun does set, but we could see a couple more storms going into the weekend, timing those out in the First Warn forecast here a little later.
Right now at 5, a Winnebago County judge finds Duke Webb fit for trial. The latest on the case against the alleged Don Carter shooter.
Plus, Rockford organizations team up to fight homelessness. How the 100-day challenge hopes to help Forest City residents.
And State Line children get the chance to see and hear their favorite trucks up close. The Touch a Truck event that organizers say is a great experience for kids.
Live from WTVO 17, this is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. Thank you for joining us tonight on Eyewitness News at 5. The man who allegedly opened fire at Don Carter Lanes has been deemed fit to stand trial.
Duke Webb's accused of killing 3 people and wounding 3 others at the State Street bowling alley in 2020. A judge ruled today that although he may suffer from mental conditions, those conditions do not affect his ability to understand the charges. Webb's attorneys tried to argue that he suffers from schizophrenia. Prosecutors argued, however, that Webb was clearly able to speak with detail and to understand the law during his fitness evaluation. The trial is set for November 18th and may last up to 12 days.
Tonight, Winnebago County Police have confirmed 1 person has died after a crash in Rockford. It happened yesterday just after 2 o'clock at the intersection of Trask Bridge and Harrison. 2 cars collided into each other. Well, 2 cars collided. The coroner says that a 92-year-old man died on the scene of the crash. The other driver was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Rockford organizations team up to better combat homelessness.
The City of Rockford's Health and Human Services Department announced the completion of a 100-day unsheltered challenge. The effort brought together 7 Rockford organizations to collaborate on addressing challenges surrounding homelessness. Our Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz spoke with the city. Blake, what did officials take away from this challenge?
Yeah, Wendell, Mimi, the challenge began in February with a 2-day summit in Joliet that brought together the city, Rockford Fire Department, and Rockford Rescue Mission, among others. Today, the city told me the challenge helped dozens find homes and develop better strategies to help more in the future, like revamping case conference meeting processes and increasing landlord engagement.
100 days, just building those relationships among the agencies, kind of putting some pieces in order that we can move forward using just to better build our collaborations, because we want to get people housed and off the streets, but we definitely need these partnerships to get the work done.
And the city said those found houses, 28 total individuals, with over 20 being someone with a disability or over the age of 50. Wendell.
Thank you, Blake. Rockford Police are hiring. It's accepting entry-level applications for police officers. It is holding 4 recruiting events over the next 2 weeks. You can see them right now on your screen. Those events allow applicants to meet in person with RPD recruiting officers. Rockford Police says it hopes this push, quote, brings dedicated and community-focused individuals into the Rockford Police Department, end quote. For more information, you can contact the Rockford Police Recruitment Office.
The head of the Illinois GOP steps down from his position. Springfield attorney Don Tracy's held the role since 2021. He says Republicans would rather fight each other than work on defeating Democrats. In his resignation letter, he said the party has seen better days and he's concerned about the direction it's heading. He appointed a search committee chair and says he will be done when a successor's chosen. Tracy says hopefully that will happen around the end of the Republican National Convention, July 19th. It's no secret that America's classrooms are lacking the proper amount of teachers.
But lawmakers on Capitol Hill say they have a plan to fix it. Rashad Hudson explains.
Lawmakers say teachers are packing up and leaving the classroom. Public school teachers have been overworked, underpaid, understaffed.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders says his Pay Teachers Act would require teachers make at least $60,000 a year.
They should not be forced to be on food stamps.
Jamile Keys, a teacher in Philadelphia, says he's forced to use his own money for classroom supplies.
In just this school year alone, I've spent over $1,000 on those things just so that I can be effective at what I do.
Keys and other teachers and education advocates testified before senators Thursday. Senators critical of the act say it's less about money and more about getting back to the core mission of education.
Some education leaders prioritize social agendas and progressive ideology over academic progress.
Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy says schools aren't spending the money they have wisely.
There are now more staff collecting paychecks at schools than ever before, and yet we see grades falling.
Nicole Neely with Parents Defending Education doesn't believe there are fewer teachers in the classroom.
So we don't have a teacher shortage, we have an allocation issue, and that is what is hugely concerning, particularly when we look at the fact that our children cannot read.
All agreed education in America needs attention to ready the country's next generation. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
Some folks have some fresh produce tonight on the table thanks to some Rockford farmers and vendors who held their weekly midtown market this morning. This local farmers market is bigger than ever this year with more food options, baked goods, fresh produce, and crafts. Organizers say they're also bringing in at least one food truck every week. The market also helps or accepts SNAP cards and will double link dollars spent on farm-grown produce. Organizers say it's a great way to bring local food to the area.
In a neighborhood that doesn't have a lot of food, it can fill that gap. So rain or shine, farmers are growing it. It's perfect growing conditions for growing, and so it helps the farmer and it helps the neighbor.
Midtown Market is open every Thursday from 9 to 1 at the RPS headquarters on 7th Street.
Beloit children were able to see their favorite trucks and vehicles at today's annual Touch a Truck event. Beloit Fire, Police, Public Works, and several community partners all attended. Kids were able to get inside the police cars, fire trucks, and farming tractors, hear the sirens, and talk to the operators. Organizers say it's a great experience for the kids to see some of their favorite trucks up close.
It's a great memory for a lot of these kids who maybe don't see some of these stuff up close and personal, might see them from afar, and to maybe not talk to some of these people who are working potentially dangerous jobs on certain days, and they might not be able to approach them on other days on a regular day and ask them about what their job is. So it's a great opportunity to a learning experience for these kids to really enhance some education.
Organizers say if you missed today's event, don't worry. Beloit Police hold a similar event in the fall. Rockford residents compete for the title of Rockford's top chef at the 3rd annual Chef's Table fundraiser.
After the break, Eyewitness's own Tom Lewis will join us live from the Tabala Event Center to let us know what we can expect.
Then coming up at 6, the man accused of shooting 3 Ogle County deputies appears in court. Details on what happened in the arraignment of Jonathan Gunaris.
Our temperatures this afternoon fell just shy of that 90-degree mark, but it felt a little more humid thanks to more moisture, which has led to some thunderstorms here. A look at how long those are expected to stick around and if we could see the storms continue into the weekend coming up in the first warn forecast a little later.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Rockford residents are competing for the title of Rockford's top chef tonight.
This is the 3rd annual Chef's Table fundraiser at the Tabala Event Center. Our Tom Lewis is live at the fundraiser. Are you seeing a lot of good eats over there, Tom?
Yeah, Mimi Wendell, Gordon Ramsay, eat your heart out. Chef's Table has arrived here at the Tavala Event Center in Rockford. This is an event that is a fundraiser for Zion West, which serves under-resourced members of our community. I have the organizer of the event, Geraldine Hightower. Geraldine, first of all, you look beautiful.
Thank you.
And talk about Chef's Table. This is exciting because this is a cooking competition as a fundraiser, correct?
Yes, it is. It's a night to have some good food, to enjoy different cuisines, and to have some fun in the organization and know what the organization is about.
And what does Zion West do? They're very important. They do a lot of meaningful work in our community. Tell our viewers what you do.
Yes, we help those underprivileged. We have a morning program which help those who it's hard to find employment. We have a after-school program for the children in the neighborhood, and we also have counseling. We have different programs to help the neighborhood and the community to support them.
And Chef's Table, this is a competition, so how many chefs do you have and what kind of food? You were giving me a little preview, making me hungry.
Yes, we have 12 chefs. And we have different kinds of food. We have Mexican, we have vegan food, we have soul food, different kinds of food that we have that you can enjoy tonight. And the competition between the 12 chefs. So we do have a contest where we have the top chef, we have the top community chef. So it is a competition that is fun and enjoyable.
And Chief Red of the Rockford Police Department won last year for Best Dessert. So.
Yes, she did.
We'll see
yes,
if she can defend her title.
And the mayor also, he won last year. He won 1 year also. He won a category.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Geraldine.
Thank you.
Next hour, we're going to talk with one of the chefs. And Wendell and Mimi, I feel a little bit out of place because Chef Boyardee is not one of the competitors
His favorite.
here. So, but I'll enjoy some really nice food, non-canned food, first time in my life. But back to the studio to you guys.
I've seen him eat the canned food.
I was going to say, people at home might think he's
yeah.
kidding. He's not.
He's not. Thank you, Tom.
Another hot and humid day outside.
When we come back, Candace tells us what we can expect as we head towards the weekend. Her full forecast is next at 5.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we had some rain come down early this morning for some across northwest, north central Illinois, southern Wisconsin. Had a little break. The heat built up. You may have noticed the humidity kind of climbing a bit more than what it had the last couple of days. And eventually we had some thunderstorms develop. Coverage a little more than what it was yesterday. Those storms forming along a stalled boundary across northern Illinois. That boundary sinking a little further south. But we continue with those scattered showers and thunderstorms. And while most of these have remained at least now below severe limits, we've had some really heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, gusty winds, and even some hail. One such storm, as we take a look just west of Rochelle. In fact, this storm crossed over the Lee and Ogle County line. You can see the heavy rainfall there off in the distance, so that is going to be a concern primarily with these storms as they continue through sunset. Notice the development of those thunderstorms really firing up. They've actually produced quite a few outflow boundaries, so with that, we've had some additional storms develop as well. Here's the storm that we just looked at on our SkyTrack camera. This is west of Rochelle. Some heavy rainfall here from Pine Rock just on southwest of Flag Center. This is very slowly moving to the north here late this afternoon and evening. There's not a lot of strong wind in our atmosphere to really push these along. So for the most part, these have been slow moving thunderstorms. And that's where we've gotten a lot of that heavy rain. In fact, some of our weather watchers, Sandy with the storm that came through the Fairdale, Kirkland area, had 0.8 of an inch of rain. Our weather watcher Mike in Forston from the rain overnight and this morning actually picked up 1.4 inches of rain. Other places we've gotten those numbers close to an inch just with what we've had here, while other locations have had just a few sprinkles. But you can see how these thunderstorms have really fired up. And again, that severe threat for us is low, but we have had a couple of thunderstorms kind of line up right along that boundary and had shown some signs of rotation. As the sun sets late this evening, we'll actually see that coverage decrease because we're losing the heating of the day, which means our night will stay fairly quiet. Now, temperatures, the numbers have cooled off, but it really hasn't cooled off because it still feels muggy. In fact, when we look at our dew point temperatures, those are higher than what they've been when we've had the 90-degree heat with the moisture really pooling along that boundary, our numbers are in the low to mid 70s. So this is more of a tropical kind of air mass, which is why it has maybe felt more humid out there. That boundary falls to the south of us, which will keep our temperatures in the 60s here for tonight. Notice that moisture coming in, but it pulls back north as a warm front as we go into the day tomorrow. So let's time this out on Futurecast. Notice we've got those scattered showers and thunderstorms. And again, where we see that heavy rain will be our primary concern, perhaps with some gusty winds too. As those move out tonight, that front lifts up to the north into the day tomorrow. Highest threat for thunderstorm coverage tomorrow will be to the north, but we could get a couple of isolated thunderstorms during the afternoon and early evening across northern Illinois. Then we watch Saturday. Saturday, we have to be mindful that there could be strong to severe thunderstorms late in the day and through the evening, depending on the timing of a cold front. Sunday, Monday, guys, they'll feel more comfortable.
Thank you, Candace.
Scouts in next with sports. Another jersey number will be going up in the rafters for the Fighting Illini next basketball season.
And the Bulls have traded one of the veteran core players. Sports straight ahead.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Terrence Shannon Jr. will go down as one of the Fighting Illini's all-time great basketball players. His jersey number is going up in the rafters at the State Farm Center. Athletic Director Josh Whitman has made that call now that Shannon Jr. has been cleared of charges of rape and sexual battery in Kansas. Shannon Jr. averaged 23 points per game last season, which ranked him second in the Big Ten and third in the nation in scoring. He was also a second-team All-American. Here's Whitman on the decision to honor Shannon Jr.
Given the season that he had, one of the great seasons in the history of our program, it was clear to, I think, anybody who follows college basketball that he was one of the top 10 players in the country, probably one of the top 2 or 3 players in the country, and only for the situation that he had to go through that he didn't get the votes to be the consensus All-American that our policy requires. And so we were excited to grant an exception there and look forward to celebrating him, letting our fans thank him for all that he's done.
Well, the Bulls are not standing pat this offseason. They have just traded guard Alex Caruso to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He made the NBA's all-defensive second team this past season. In return, the Bulls get a very talented young building block, 6'8" guard Josh Giddey. Giddey averaged more than 12 points and 6 rebounds a game last season and almost 5 assists. Despite his length, he is a ball handler and a playmaker, and he's only 21 years old. Chicago's other pro basketball team, the Sky, made news today. Not only did they defeat the Dallas Wings, but Angel Reese there became the first rookie in WNBA history to have 7 consecutive double-doubles. He had 16 points and 18 rebounds. The overall WNBA record for consecutive double-doubles is 12. That's held by Candace Parker. Well, the IHSA Girls State Basketball Tournament is staying put at Illinois State. The IHSA has a new deal to keep it there through 2029. Cole Gutman will remain a part of the Blackhawks organization next season. He's agreed to a new 1-year, 2-way contract with the Hawks that could also have him suiting up for the Ice Hogs again. Last season, Gutman tallied 40 points for the Hogs in 39 games. He was the AHL's Player of the Month for March. Unfortunately, shortly after that, he suffered a season-ending injury and missed the playoffs. Well, the White Sox work is done for this day. This afternoon, they watched Astros slugger Jordan Alvarez go deep on Chris Flexen in the first inning for a 1-0 Astros lead. Despite that, Flexen pitched well, but Alvarez and the Astros struck for 4 more runs in the 7th when they batted around, and the Astros defeated the White Sox 5-3. Cubs, by the way, they're off tonight. That's sports. We'll be right back.
We continue to see some scattered thunderstorms here through this evening. A few more storms possible heading into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Candace.
We'll see you at 6.